Well, hello. This is going to be a very short live. Just FYI, we are going to be learning how to doodle a butterfly. Just basic shapes. This is not going to be some huge artistic endeavor. We are simply going to go ahead and learn how to draw a butterfly using our basic shapes. Anybody can do this. If you can draw a square, you can draw an oval, you can draw a butterfly. Let's start out. Oh, and the first thing that happens, we have a problem. Always something going on. All right, what you want to do first is do a very slim oval. Nothing too fancy. Remember, don't have to be perfect. More importantly, at this point, whenever you're drawing, you're going to want to be very light. If you're using a pencil and paper, these are going to be your light circles. Okay? And so the first thing we're going to do is you draw the oval, and this is our guide to where we're going to put two squares at the top on each side. Okay? And then you go ahead and put two squares underneath on each side that are just a little bit smaller. Okay? These are going to be light. They're just your guides. Okay? Now we're going to come in, and if you're using a guide, remember I'm using layers. I'm using Procreate layers, but if you're using the pencil and paper, those pencil pieces here will be very light. They're just your guides, and then you go ahead and you come in and you draw around them as guides. If you're doing a butterfly, you're going to want to go ahead and start from the top of your oval and do rounds around the edges of each square, taking that square and turning it into a round. Okay? Going around each square, creating a very simple, very cartoon-like butterfly, and then you redraw the oval. And of course, you would go ahead and erase your squares, and boom, you've got yourself a very basic butterfly. Okay, now if we want to do a more complicated butterfly, something a little more chic, let me go ahead and clear out this bad boy. Put her back in and clear out that one. Let's start with something a little more fun. Get back into our purple, which is going to be our light colors, is where if you're using a pencil and paper, you'll be using it as a light sketch. You want to go ahead and draw your long, slim oval. Okay. You're going to do your 4 squares. No, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is supposed to be fun. You want to get out a ruler, you are making it boring. Just do the best you can. Now here's the fun part. Go ahead and at the corner on the outer ends of each of your squares, add a little circle. Okay? Using this, you're going to go ahead and, that's going to be your light drawing if you're on pencil and paper. But in my case, I'm in Procreate, so we're going to go to another layer. Pull out what our darker stuff will be. Start from our oval. Go around here. Come down and finish and meet here. Go around. Making sure the edges are rounded. And then go around that square here, and go around that square here. And boom! Erase our, wrong thing. erase our lines, put our little oval back in, you have more traditional butterfly. Okay? Now I know what you're thinking, butterflies aren't just wings, they have insides. Well, let's get in on here and I'll show you guys a little trick. Okay? Now this is an easy, simple way to create the inside of a wing. Okay, instead of going through all of the rigmarole, just do this. Trace around the inside of your wing form. Like I said, it's not perfect, just is there. Making sure there's plenty of room between the edge and the inside. Okay? But what about all the lines? Okay? Cut it in half. And from there, create a fan. And boom. Do the same thing here. Create a big border. Cut it in half. And create a fan. You've just doodled yourself here. Now, whenever we're going ahead and coloring in, like if you're going to go ahead and if you're using pencil, and this is black, if you're going to be using a different color, you'll want to use the different color for this. But you're filling in your area, you want it to look more butterfly-like, you fill in around the edges and round those corners off. Rounding the corners off will create the organic butterfly look. Okay, so you're rounding your edges, creating the organic butterfly look where it looks less uniform and more butterfly-like. I'll just fill in my blue butterfly here. Just because it's fun. Clean it up a little bit. Yes, by the way, I am holding my phone, so I didn't have a place to put my my holder, so y'all are getting the shaky live. My apologies. I'll go ahead and fill that bad boy in. Okay, that's looking pretty good. You know what? I think this needs a lighter, prettier blue. And we'll just fill this in. Let's see here. So y'all can get kind of an idea. Ta-da! Pretty butterfly. All right, and that was our very short tutorial on how to use basic shapes to draw a butterfly. If you didn't catch it the last time, I will show you again. Turn this off. We basically used an oval, made squares on each side, 2 squares on each side, a little smaller at the bottom. And then we went ahead and put circles right here at the top, outside corners, and then traced around it. Nope, go away. Traced around it to create those shapes. And I keep touching the darn screen. My apologies, everybody. Anyway, and that is how we created our butterfly. Thanks for watching. I appreciate y'all's time. If y'all have any questions, I'm open for a second or two. If not, I'll wait a few seconds and then I will close out. I am sorry about the crunching. My dog has decided to have dinner right now. right when I'm on the live. Is that really good, dude? Yes, he decided he needed to crunch all up in y'all's ear tonight. All right, I haven't had any comments. So thanks for sticking around. We appreciate your time, and y'all have a good one. Enjoy your Friday night.